Hello everyone, good evening. Today is October 4th and welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Recap and Market Review. Alright guys, before I start, there's a trading psychology webinar on Friday. The link I will post in description and you can sign up on the top as well. There's a link there, free webinar for everyone. Please join, it's going to be 2-hour bootcamp. We'll talk about how to master the mindset, the emotions, the psychological aspects of trading, common mistakes that all of us make, and how to solve them. All the teachings that I have been talking over the years on X and other platforms and my other YouTube videos, I'm doing in-depth trading psychology webinar. So you can go to my website, register there. So it's me and Tanner Trade Group. We are bringing this webinar for everyone. Sign up and you should get invite. Do register and I'll see you there on Friday. Yeah, right there. So anyways, so now getting back to the market, guys. Bounce day on the market. Remember, a one-day bounce is not a trend, but how did we trade the bounce day? We had a signal of the bullish signal right at the open. What was that signal? How did we know that we were supposed to long today and not to short today? Why was the SPY weaker than QQQ? What was the news data that was coming in today? We always keep eyes on the news. What's the news? What any speakers, any Fed data, macro data, jobs data, what is coming? So, how did we do that? We'll talk about our big win on Tesla, huge win on AMD, a small loss on Netflix, and the other trades like Meta, Lilly, and the short on ON. We'll talk about everything. Stick around. We'll also talk about what to expect on the market in coming 2 days. So, all right, guys, here we go. So today was a decent day in the market. VIX down, as you see. US dollar index down, 10-year yield down, 30-year yield is down. Bonds bounced today, so that was big. That helped us. A lot of this tech push higher as the bonds bounced as well. So as you see here, all the market bearish indicators were red today, and most of the market names were green. Nasdaq was stronger than SPY, as I noticed it right in the morning as well, and that's how we traded it. So news wise, guys, if I go to the calendar, today what we saw was there was ISM services index today that came out. Then there were ADP employment change that came out. So those things came out today. I'm not going to review that data in detail. As a traders, we need to know when what data is coming out and make decisions accordingly. So tomorrow again, guys, I think there's a bunch of Fed speakers tomorrow. We'll look at it. So I always plan it in the morning. Yeah, there's a Fed Barkin speech tomorrow. There's a job loss claim. But Friday, guys, a lot of important data coming out on Friday. That's going to be key. So next 2 days as well, there's a lot of data in the market. It will be a lot of volatility to trade. As a traders, we trade the trend. And we see the bearish bias, we trade bearish. We see bullish bias, we trade bullish. And we get this bias right at the opening, right? Like I show you every day. So let's go back. Let's see what we did today. So like every day, we were up early, 45 minutes before the market opened, going through all the news, reviewed all the news from all the news sources. There was a bunch of news on Palantir, Intel, ONON, VVOS in the penny stocks, FLRN. We reviewed some more news on Apple, Palantir, Ford Motors, Boeing, Helen of Troy. So we reviewed all the news. Then we looked at what's market doing. So market was a little bit gapping higher, guys, before the market opened. So we already had a gap up setup, right? So what was our system saying? It was showing us a gap up setup both on Nasdaq and both on S&P and QQQ. The reason the market was gapping up was because of the ADP data that came in, and it showed us that labor market is cooling down. So what that means is if the labor market is cooling down, the economy is kind of slowing down, and that's what Fed wants, and that means Fed might slow down or cut the rates. So that's why market was gapping up. So we looked at a bunch of news like Intel and PayPal, and my watch list was ready, right? So as you see, I had a news plays: Intel, PayPal, Palantir, Dell, Lilly, Calm, Helen, ON, LAC, Mara. And then our usual marketplace: Boeing, Apple, Microsoft, AMD, Nvidia, SMCI, Meta, Netflix, Tesla, Amazon. So the point of making a watch list is to let our system work. So we have these tickers that we will play, and we will see how they are. It doesn't mean you jump on each of those plays right at open. Then we decide what we want to trade, right? Everybody in community is different. Somebody's trading something else, I'm trading something else, but I share what I'm trading, what I'm looking at. So this was our play. The plays we ended up playing from the news plays was Lilly long, Calm long, LSE bounce of 10, ON short. So 4 plays out of those news plays were the working plays today, right? Out of the market that I ended up playing was AMD, Tesla long right at the open, then AMD and Meta long, tried Netflix long, that did not work, and tried a little bit Nvidia, that did not work either. But we'll see how all that went. So let's go. Let's talk about all of our trades. So my levels were ready right at open. As you see, you can screenshot these levels and see how they compare, review with your charts and see how those levels compare. For example, if you take AMD level, AMD support was 100, Meta level support was 300, and that's how we longed AMD and Nvidia, because QQQ was strong. We'll talk about it in a bit. So that's how we longed, using our levels, and it was breaking the resistance pivots. AMD was breaking this 194 resistance pivot. Meta broke out of our 302 resistance pivot. So that's how we use the levels, guys. Use it every day. And we were ready with our economic calendar. PMI was 945, ISM data was 945. You can see here factory ISM manufacturing data, and then there was ADP employment numbers. So we just keep eyes on everything. And two Fed guys were speaking, Goolsby and Schmidt. He was speaking at 10 and 10:30. Right at open, market bias was neutral. The plan, what was the plan today? What was our indicator? The plan was VIX, guys. VIX was again our leading indicator, telling us if the VIX breaks under 1935, right, then we're going to have a bullish bias on market. But if VIX keeps pushing to 1950 and more, then we would have bearish bias on market. What do you see when you see right here? All of you who watch my videos, who understand my teachings, right? Gap up, SPY, pull back to the pre-market lows, held that level, right, and it was choppy. But while SPY was relatively weak, QQQ, if you see our EMA Clouds System, it held the trend and continued to push all day, right? That was our signal. And today was the day, guys, where the individual names, you had to figure out what names were stronger than the other names. Like you see, Nvidia here was clearly sideways, while AMD today was a big push. Right here you can see it, AMD was a big push. So you need to realize those and take those kind of trades with your proper risk and proper reward, and let the system work, right? Let the system work. So that's what we did. All right, so Intel, I did not end up doing anything, even though Intel was because I wanted to see the gap hold. But as soon as the gap was fading down, and I said on voice, it's going to fill the gap. I don't know if somebody shorted it or not, but it was a decent gap fill scalp at open. Palantir as well did not do anything, because it never gave me a good risk reward entry. As you see, it was chopping up and down. So anyways, so Calm is the trade that we ended up doing. If you see here, what did Calm do? So Calm was a gap up bounce setup. It was a gap up bounce setup, right? What was the plan on Calm? You clearly see here. The plan was on Calm was to watch this 4150 level. If that holds, we long, B minus long using that risk. And if it breaks, we short it. So there was two setups we could do: gap down long versus the pre-market lows, or gap down short. It ended up working as a gap up long. After 3 minutes, I said it's a good long scalp, right? And using that risk, $1 risk right at open, it pushed to 44 almost. We almost got $1.50, one-on-one trade on Calm. So you can see my comments here on Calm, how we just to show you, and logged all the calm into 44, small size, decent trade. So calm was the one which worked for us right out of the gate. Let's look at ONON. Okay, so ONON, as you see, it's on my watch list right here. And what was ONON doing? ONON was again it was gapping up, but it broke the gap. EMA Clouds, the system, my system's telling me it's turning bearish. Then it breaks the yesterday lows. Then look at the daily. Do not ignore the daily. That's the thing, guys. Do not ignore the daily when you're trading. Day trading does not matter. You need to see the daily. It was going into the gap. That's when I said on heavy watch. If pops 260.50 was your risk to short it, right? I was on the voice, and we shorted it somewhere here to all the way to 24, and when it kept bouncing, we covered at 25. So ONON was overall another nice gap short trade there. So that was ONON. Let's look at LAC quickly before I go to other trades. So LAC, the plan was simple. See, guys, everything is with the plan. Nothing is random. We are ready before the pre-market what we want to do. It was a B minus setup. If you don't know how I grade them, go watch all of my other videos. My videos will make you a better trader, better investor, right? So these videos, these series are focused on mostly on the day trade. So it will definitely make you a better trader. So what was LAC plan? Watch if 10 holds. If holds, we bounce it for a B minus, right? And we're not going to short it. If it breaks in the 10, then we will short it. So it was bouncing. My target was 12, but by end of the day, wherever it is, you have to risk 10. It did hit 11.75, right? So in the room, people were trading LAC. So LAC, you see the comments there. It was working for many people, working off the 10, LAC solid, right? So, so this is a simple repeatable setup, guys. Nothing gut feeling trade, right? It's not like that's what I show the reasoning why, because I want everybody to execute, not just take the blind alerts, right? So now let's look at our big huge win for the day that I'm gonna show you now. Tesla, guys. Tesla, look at this beauty. So this is the setup I love. So what was my bullish signal? Over EMA Clouds, check. Breaking pre-market highs, check. First risk is the low of the opening candle, then the breakout long over 250, then the flag, then the all-day trend. I will show you. I took the profits right here. I got faked out that it will pill to 34.50, but it bounced right back. I could have used this area to risk to stay in. I did have some lotos, but there was a huge move for me from 249 to all the way to 258, and I was happy with that trade, even though I could have re-added right here on this break and when it pushed to 261. So I could have done that, but happy with the trade. So let's see. Let me show you the time-stamped call outs on Tesla, what we were doing there. Okay, let's see. Okay, here you can see all the comments on Tesla. So I did bit more with stops were at 247. That was 934, right? As soon as Win was on top of it, so I was looking at differently. Win was looking in a different way, and both of us were trading it long. And the 250 calls hit nicely. And right at open, I said scalp some. You can see I said scalp some 932, right? So that's what we were doing, and I clearly said that I'm going to add more over 250, right? So that was my plan. And then my first target was 251, so I had two adds. You can see my time-stamped comments there. And then I was locking some into 252. I kept locking and started moving on. Then 250 calls went 50%. Logged some more, as it went. I left 1/4, which I covered later, but I did add lotos. I'll show you here. When I said I grabbed some lotos with the profit, best trade of the day. My target was 258. The lotos went another 20-30% and hit the 258 target. All right, here guys, you can see my comments, and then you can compare those to the move on Tesla today. So really nice win here on Tesla, guys. Just repeatable system, guys. You can compare to what it was doing the other day. What was my EMA cloud system, the Ripster cloud system telling me, right? What was the market doing? Market was holding. QQQ was over the trend. That's my bullish indicator. VIX was in the bearish 10-minute trend. So that was my indicator, guys. That was the bullish indicator. Simple system. We use it every day. I teach it to thousands of people over the years. It works. And if you look at the daily on Tesla, it broke over 50 EMA. So that was another push. Always when something is breaking over 50 EMA on the daily, you usually get the push. Look here when Tesla broke over 50 EMA. It pushed right again, right? The last time it broke 50 EMA, it gave a big push. And before that, when it broke this 50 EMA, it went from 175 to 185. So every time it breaks that 50 EMA, it pushes. And when it breaks down, it fades. So remember that 50 EMA, very important. Or you can use the 3450 clouds. So this is a very important concept to use. Okay, let's look at some of our so Netflix. I was trying to long it, but I wanted to long it over 380. So I only had a starter versus 360. I thought it's going to push over 380. When it broke down, then I took a loss, just small scratch loss, nothing much. So that was the Netflix loss, guys. Nvidia, guys. So let's see. So Nvidia, right at open, I was in very small size. It pushed into 440, versus from open, it did push a little decent bit up, then it came back. And then I got out of Nvidia. Then what happened was it tried to reclaim it again, and then some bullish flow came in, and then I scalped it a bit, and then it faded back again. So Nvidia was not perfect today. So you see those two scratch losses there. I mean, Nvidia was still kind of break even, but my loss was on Netflix. So now let's look at AMD. All right, here you go. AMD versus 100. Right at open, I said AMD versus 100. And then AMD, you can see my timestamped comments all day. Here you see, I'll show you later. So AMD, you move your stops up as it's moving. Held the 3450 all day. My risk was 100. As it was moving higher, we were moving the risk above. It break this, but this time I was giving it room to 3450 EMA because my size was small, and it was not a huge move for me to take, get out. But then when it broke out the second time, then when my target was 104 and we hit 104, right? And I'm still holding AMD, by the way. So let's look at our next winning trade, guys. Meta was versus 300. And what you see here is only half of the thing. I'm on the voice all day talking about what I'm watching, what's looking like. And Meta was 300, small size on scalps. Meta was going. I told everyone to hold the longs. Meta was locking some. Next target was 308, and then I still have a little bit of Meta. So another, guys, nice winning trade. All comments, all time stamped here. You can go see on X as well. Apart from that, guys, there was a guidance on Apple from me this morning that Apple was showing a relative strength. I did post something. Let me show you actually, right? I did put it on my Twitter before and after. I never do a hindsight move. You see this breakout, right, on the Apple. I did share that before and after that. I can show you guys. Give me a sec here. So let's see. Okay, here you go. So you can see it right here, okay? Before, after. So look at this. Tesla, before, after. I tweeted about it. No more tweet, it's an X. I X'd about it, and before and after. So this is what I want everybody to learn, the patterns, they work, right? 1, 2, 3 times it rejected and then broke out of the flag, boom. Right? If you are an experienced trader, you can scalp those breakouts with the lower range or the middle range as a risk, and scalp it small sizes only, right? So breakout trading is tough, but if you're trading the trend, you can always add into it. So that was that. So as you see, guys, this morning SPY was kind of choppy, but QQQ was strong because the sectors in SPY were kind of weak, which were pulling it down. XBI was weak. The banks were okay today. Let's see. What other sector was weak? Consumers were good, strong today. And I did another trade today that I'm holding is Amazon. I told Amazon, everybody, I even posted about it, clear risk at 125, 126 area. Gave $1 to us, not a big trade, gave us $1 to us, and we'll see what it does tomorrow, right? So that's what I say. Everything was running, but Amazon was lagging. And then 125 was key here. Win was on the long versus 126. And it did push from 126 to 127 to close the day. And my thing was, it was bouncing on this 3450 EMA Cloud. If you don't know my system, go to my website, read about EMA Cloud System. I explain about it every day. I'll do another video on it soon. So okay, let's see if missed something. Yeah, so look at the SPY pivots I gave this morning. If you see where SPY rejected initially 424. So that's the levels I give every day. So guys, as you see, so these were our trades. We knew it was a bullish bias. We were bullish on most of the plays. We nailed TSLA AMD. We nailed our news plays. We nailed our marketplace. And not only that, even our folks on my trading floor, they are like, so many ideas. Like Michael was on top of IWM. They shorted the IWM at open for good, nice trades, right? Then there was Microsoft call, which was given by Prakash in the room, that Microsoft was showing a relative strength. So our eyes is everywhere. It's not just single zone into one ticker. We are looking at the whole market. That is how we are able to nail it days in, days out. When we get losses, they are small. When we get the winners, we ride it with the market. So yeah, guys, it was a decent day. We'll be ready for tomorrow. Keep eyes on the data that comes out. Overall, the SPY is just a bounce, right? We are not out of the woods yet. Still the bearish market overall, but we do have a support where it's bouncing from. We looked at some Nasdaq futures yesterday, that they are right at the support that it's bouncing from 1 to 3. More it bounces, it has chance to reverse, but this is what it held. So we'll see if we see the continuation or not. So right, few other names on my watch are TTD. If market stays strong, TTD I'm watching. Shop I'm watching. This building the range, and so that I'm ready. If the market is strong, I will hit those plays for a day trade, swing trade, whatever it gives me. So that was it, guys, for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget to sign up for the webinar on Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.